Now, the final thing I want to say about you is don't be held back by fear. Because we've all got little fears, things that worry us. And if you're going to be the managing director or CEO of your business, you can't afford to have any little blind spots which you don't attend to. So you have to confront these fears and get rid of them. So the first one is you might have a fear of customers who are managing directors. I have this a little bit actually. I don't like to phone up a managing director. And even going to visit a managing director or a CEO, I just feel a bit anxious because of who they are. Whereas I'll happily go and see a sales manager or a marketing manager, it's no problem at all. But if they're called a managing director, it frightens me, which is pathetic because when I actually get to meet them, they're always really nice people. And in fact, managing directors are some of the best people that I've worked with because they've got that bigger view and there's a reason why they've managed to rise to that position. So overcome your fear of customers who are managing directors because you've got to ring them up, you've got to go and see them, and it's important to overcome that. The second fear is getting rid of people. I've mentioned this a little bit already, but some managing directors or some people who run their businesses are too frightened of getting rid of people who underperform. And that can cause all sorts of trouble in the rest of the company because people are thinking, well, why is that person still there? I turn up every day on time and that person doesn't. I work really hard, that person doesn't. Why should I bother? So you have to get rid of the people who need to be got rid of. And obviously you do it legally and properly and you give them lots of opportunities to improve. You give them coaching and all that sort of thing. But if that doesn't work, you've got to get rid of them. And if you've got a fear of getting rid of people, that's really going to hold your business back. Now, once you've got rid of one person, then you know how to do it, it's easier, and you're going to be better at doing it in the future. So it's just really doing it the first time, I guess. But don't let that distort the shape of your business. You're not a charity. The third fear, and this is one I struggle with actually, is saying no to customers. So if you worry that saying no to a particular job for a customer might mean that you lose that customer, you're going to end up saying yes to loss-making work. And that's not going to be good. So to run a successful business, you have to be able to say no. And that's a fear you have to overcome. And then there's one other fear that I want to mention, which is a fear of speaking at conferences. And again, I don't have this fear, but I know some really impressive managing directors who hate speaking in public. And that means they avoid doing it. And that means that they don't get the recognition or the future business that they could get. Some of them are doing an amazing job with their company, but they don't publicize it because of their fear of public speaking. So you've got to overcome that and just practice it, learn it, do some talks, and then you'll discover that, of course, you can do it. So you don't want to be held back by any of these ridiculous fears. It's not logical. And that speaking at conference one may also mean that you don't like being videoed. And these days you just can't escape video. Here we are now, I'm being videoed, talking to you via your computer. And if you've got a fear of being videoed, that's going to hold you back in the same way as the fear of speaking at conferences. Videos could lead to all sorts of good publicity for you, both externally but also internal. It could be good to make the occasional video that you put out so that people in the company can see what's going on with the company, the strategy, the ideas you're having. So you've got to overcome those fears. Confront all of these fears and don't let any of them hold you back.